In this video, we'll be installing these ultra affordable seat swivels for the Sprinter, and these work for a lot of different vehicles. I'm going to check out the quality, and most importantly, I'm going to show you how to install these in your Sprinter safely so you don't cause any sort of airbag lights and other issues. Hey everybody, welcome back to Random Fix. So we got a Sprinter 170 extended here, and I'm going to be installing swivel seats. And since this is my second camper build, I am not going to go spend $1,000 on swivel seats. Honestly, they're cool, but they're really not worth $1,000. So I got these swivel seats for $100, and let's go ahead and jump into the video. We need to disconnect power. So right now the power is on. You guys can tell the cargo light is on. So let me show you guys how to go and do this safely so you don't trigger a SRS light for your airbag. So you want to get access to the driver's side, and there's a panel right here. So whether you have a 907 VS30 like I have here, or you have a 906, they normally have a disconnect right in here, and it's gonna have a red cap. And let me see if I can actually get it on camera, but you just need to reach in here, and there is gonna be a red button that I push. There it is right there. Just push this down and pull off. This will kill all the power in the vehicle. And now we're ready to go. So the seat comes off with a total of 4 E12s. There's one here, and then there's 2 in the back. And then there's some harnesses that we need to disconnect underneath. So we can go through and disconnect the harnesses. I'm going to be starting off with the passenger side, and this is a great time to go and do any fuse box work, which I'll cover and leave you guys a link to in the video description box down below. So make sure you plan ahead. And I'm also going to be installing the White Top Adventure swivel table that actually comes in between here as well. And I'm also going to be insulating the cabin area here and installing the White Top Adventures shelf with the 360 curtain. So make sure that you plan out everything, and that way you're not taking the vehicle apart multiple times, as eventually the clips do wear out and you're going to be really upset when things start getting loose. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's start off with the passenger side. Before we do that, let's take a look at what's included. So I get a seat swivel here. It's completely black. It's got a hole for the wiring harness. Here's the lever, some hardware, and then this one came with 2 bags of hardware. Not sure why. And same style swivel here. Hole. Everything looks to be in good condition. And again, the main reason I got this was because it was ultra affordable, and I'm looking for something on a budget, and it actually looks to be really good quality. I have installed 2 different swivels in the past, and again, on the last 2 I spent over $1,000. So let's go ahead and get after this. And here's those 2 bolts in the back. So I've gone ahead and removed the 2 bolts from the back section here on the rails, and I moved the seat backwards. And underneath here we need to undo a couple of things. One of them is going to be the big wiring harness. This comes from inside the seat base. It's right here, and it is attached with a clip. So I got a little clip removal tool, and I'm going to get that off. And then to undo that harness, there's just 2 squeeze tabs at the corners here. So squeeze this and it backs off, and I'll show you that. So I got the clip off and the wiring harness is undone. Make sure that the seat is in the upright position, as you don't want it to tilt back when you undo the last bolt. And there's 1 bolt still holding in place. Just be ready and take your time and get that seat out of here so you don't go and scratch up the base here. So the seat should be ready to be lifted up. Make sure that the harness is loose. So check it out, we got the seat out, and gently remove this, and I might reuse this as it keeps the noise level down and it doesn't weigh anything. And this is a great time to do a cleanup, as you might find items like this inside here, and I have found screws that will rattle all the time when you're on the freeway in this area. So there's another one right there, look. This area is infamous for attracting all the screws and bolts, and right here it'll rattle as you're driving. So here's the driver's side, and the driver's side actually had a total of, looks like 2 clips This yellow one, again, just little push tabs at the corners here. And this white one, and your vehicle might be different depending on the options it has. And underneath, I had to get this clip off and just use a little flat tip screwdriver, put it in there, and that will loosen up the teeth, and then you can take it off. Do not just pull on it. I got the front bolts off here, and I'm gonna go work the back. And as a pro tip, try to go and scoot the seat back as much as you can for the front ones, so that way your tool is not running into the front as you're lifting up. And for the back one, just go ahead and scoot it forward, and you can see how much room we have. We have a lot of room. So I got access to the driver's side seat and came off really easy. And just remember that if any wiring needs to be done, this is a great time to go ahead and do it, as the seat is already off. And I'll leave you guys a link to the video if you guys want to learn how to go ahead and wire up the Sprinter here and which ports give you switched power. On the seat swivel, I got two identical parts, and they're both for the passenger side. So I'm having to wait for the driver's side. And if you do have the driver's side, just know that it is not going to clear the parking brake. A few of the washers from this side, and do 4 at each bolt that goes down into the base, and you will clear it. However, you can also buy a lowering kit, and I'll leave you guys a video of me installing the lowering kit, because I don't want to go the washer method, as I think it looks quite weird and makes the seat up higher. And these actually seem to be quality. So I'm going to now wait for the driver's side. And if you're thinking about buying a similar seat, the part that has a lot of holes is going to be the top part. And they say to remove this actual nut down here. I don't know why, but on the one that I have on mine, I just turned it around. I think it's better to have extra hardware in there and doesn't interfere. And everything works good. If your seat is binding a little bit, you can put a little bit of grease into these little ways, and it'll help it glide a little bit better. You don't want it to be too loose, but if you're really having to struggle with it, make sure that you have loosened up the bolts when you first got it, as it's going to be ultra tight and it's not going to swivel at all. So you're going to have to back up all the bolts. These are 15s. On the other side is going to be the 17s. And I'll show you guys more of this once I get the right part. So after waiting a few days, I got the right seat swivel, and I returned the previous one. This one was about $95, and it is perfect. The only thing that I realized was this bolt in this corner was a little tight, and this only has one latch, which is really nice. So instead of having 4 grooves like this one, it only has 1 groove when it locks forward, which for me is ideal, as this should never be sideways when it is actually moving, looking forward. And really easy install and good quality, very good quality. With this particular hardware, I actually like it better than this one. This one over here is a little bit harder to go ahead and move. This has resistance, but it is not overbearing. And the reason I am actually mocking this up is because I want to make sure that my swivel table is going to fit here, and when this goes and kicks out, that it does not interfere. I did lower the parking brake down a little bit, so I used a bracket. And on this particular 2024, I do not have to shave this area right here from the cover of the brake. So this did not need to get touched, because even with the parking brake up, I still have about 2 to 3 fingers worth of room. So your vehicle might be a little bit different. And if you don't have the budget, what you can do is use 5 washers in each corner. So the kit that I originally purchased for those seats came with 18 of these. So just need 2 more. And you would essentially just put 5 of them in the corner right here, and it will raise up the seat enough to go ahead and give you clearance for the swivel to work. So there's a little free trick there, and I'll leave you guys a video of me installing this so you guys can go ahead and take a look at it yourself on how to remove the cover. And I'll also leave you guys the previous install so you guys can see how that was different. And that was the Sportscraft seat. That was a little bit more expensive. Anyway, you can get these two seats here for under $200. I found them as a pair with shipping. So I can't say enough things about the pricing here. So hopefully you guys are excited just like me. And I'm going to be putting this back together here. So wish me luck. And let me make sure that that bracket is not going to interfere. And I'll leave you guys a link to my swivel table that is going to mount to the back of the base right here. So I am putting the seat swivel back in. And I did use the foam piece that came with the vehicle, so I don't have to see this little leakage of light on the front and back. I just cut out some sort of a square. I am going to use some fabric tape, and we are going to protect this wire even more, and we're putting this back together. And now I'm going to use hand tools to tighten this up. I'm so excited to put the seat in. We have been waiting for this. So go ahead and get the seat swivel part lined up. It's locked into place. I use the passenger side seat swivel a lot. So I even put some of this plastic wire loom on here as well. 3 layers is better than opening this up again. And if you guys haven't seen my electrical video, I have basically future-proofed this box, and I have run aground, extra wires, and they're all currently off. So check that out if you guys want to avoid taking this on and off every time you need to go and do something. Plan ahead. It's only going to cost you a couple extra bucks, and it'll save you a bunch of time. Are you ready for the seat to go in?
Oh yeah, I've been born ready.
So passenger side swivel is in. I have gone through and reconnected the wiring harness. That was loose. I disconnected this, put the clip back. The wire is nice and free. I might go and zip tie this in the future, as this area is not going to have to spin. It's just the area in the back. But I'm going to see how the movement is before I do that. And now I'm going to go move on to the driver's side. So driver's side seat is about to go on, and I have gone through and just bulletproofed everything because this wiring harness is a lot shorter. So I have gone through and zip tied it here so it doesn't get pulled on, and also to the bigger wiring harness in here. This is the hole I made, so once the swivel goes on, you don't see any of these voids. And I created a pretty cool access point to the panel for my 150 amp breaker. So I don't have to remove the seat. I can go ahead and access it with the screwdriver, and I can reset it. So make sure you plan ahead, as taking this on and off is not really fun, but this needs to be done, and I'm only going to do it once. So now is the moment of truth. I went ahead and obviously have put in this seat swivels and a few other things, including the bracket for the lagoon table. So am I going to get an airbag light when I turn this on? Let's go ahead and find out. As Mario said, here we go. So that's a good sign, no airbag light. I was so nervous when I first started. I stayed on for a few seconds, but that is completely normal. Really quick, to make sure you don't get any kind of check engine light when you unplug your Sprinter, just know different Sprinters have more batteries. So my vehicle only has 1 battery. Sometimes there's an auxiliary battery on the driver's side under the hood. If you have that, disconnect the negative on that as well. And on my previous Sprinter, as I mentioned before, I had a small battery under the seat base. So if you have that, make sure you unplug all 3 batteries before you undo the harness, as you will get an airbag light. And if you don't have a good scan tool, you will have to go down to the dealer. Now, I actually review scan tools all the time. This is probably the best scan tool I've ever seen for the Sprinter. And it comes with lifetime updates. So you buy it one time, you can use it on all your vehicles. And it's freaking awesome. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll leave you guys a link to that. But the seat swivels are done. And I'm just going to go and tidy up the seat covers here. And I've put in some accessories as well. So I'm excited to get this all done. And let me know if you guys got any questions. So I finally got a chance to do a trip in the Sprinter, the swivel seats, and honestly I'm happy with them. They're not as good as the more expensive ones. If you're going to use it a lot, maybe get those. But for me, this worked out perfect. And there are going to be some things that I noticed about the seat swivels. They do function good. And for me to move them, I go through and unlock the front, which is to pull that little lever. And then I use both hands to swivel the seat. To move it, again, I just grab it with my hand. And I do it like that. There's some scarring going on the base. So here is going to be the bottom piece. And I even lubed it up. It's still not the easiest base to work with. But again, you get what you pay for. They're going to be less than $100. And I think they actually work pretty well. And I'm really happy with them. So I wanted to leave you guys off with a few tips. When you are doing this, get yourself some seat covers, guys. You don't want to damage the seats and then go get the seat covers. So when I first started the install, I got the seat covers on there, and they really do protect the seat, as once it's damaged, it's damaged. So I'll leave you guys 2 links down below on 2 other seat swivels I have installed on my previous build. You guys can take a look at it and decide for yourself. And again, I'll leave you guys links for everything down below, including the swivel table that actually slides right between the driver and passenger, and it's awesome. The kids game back here as I'm driving. I got this affordable seat for like $600, and if you guys want to check out the install video, I'll leave you guys that. And yeah, the camper build is coming along. AC's in, roof system's in, wiring is mostly done. I just got to go clean it up. And I also got the light bars done, top, middle, and the bottom. So just went to Houston and stayed on the beach over there, and really good experience. And so I'll keep you guys posted. Thank you again for checking out the video, and as always, make it a great day.